Welcome back to CryptosRus. I am George. We're all George. So today, Michael Saylor finally did it. He was trying to fix one of the biggest problems with Bitcoin, and he achieved it. And this is monumental. I think this is something that's very overlooked. So I'm going to talk about what it is and what it means for Bitcoin going forward. And also other pieces of news that you guys will be interested in hearing. So let's do this. Welcome. Hopefully, you guys are back from your Labor Day vacation. Back to the grind, right? But let's just start out with this. Let's just jump right in. Today, overall, was not good for U.S. market. It's just absolutely red, right? But Bitcoin didn't move, so that's good. And this is what I'm talking about. The accounting rules, okay, when it comes to Bitcoin. Specifically, companies like MicroStrategy and Tesla and others that have been holding Bitcoin, but they're getting shafted by the way accounting rules apply to Bitcoin and crypto overall. It's really archaic, and the way things were looked at or taxed or reported just didn't make any sense. For example, if you are a company that bought Bitcoin, let's say at $20,000, at any given time, if Bitcoin goes below your buying price, let's say it went to 16,000 briefly, then it came back up to 30,000. Well, when you report it, you can't report your Bitcoin is in the green, in profit. You have to report that it went to 16,000 and you actually lost 4,000 for every Bitcoin. That makes no sense at all. And you can't actually report the gains until you actually sell it. So obviously, with this kind of accounting, it sucks. Companies don't want to hold Bitcoin for this reason, right? Because it's a big risk. The more Bitcoins that you hold, the more it can hurt your quarterly reports, right? But Michael Saylor never cared. He kept buying Bitcoin no matter what. But there were some quarters where he reported massive hundreds of millions of losses due to his Bitcoin holdings. So he's like, that makes no sense. Let's get this changed, right? So he went and applied basically for this new change, right, with FASB, which is the association that controls accounting rules, okay? And he got what he asked for, which is basically using the fair value of Bitcoin to calculate whether or not your holding is in the green or in the red, right? Basically, utilizing what the fair value is at that moment of reporting. So that makes it a lot more fair, okay? So going forward, all institutions, financial companies, banks, privately traded companies or public traded companies, probably not private, but public trade companies, any of these companies that are holding Bitcoin can now report their holdings accurately, okay? And this new fair value accounting kicks in starting 2025. However, right here, the rules will go into effect as soon as 2025, but companies will have the option to apply them early. So I don't know what that means exactly. Does that mean starting from this quarter on, you could start utilizing this new accounting practice? That's what it sounds like. You don't actually have to wait until 2025, right? So this will make all companies holding Bitcoin look a lot better, a whole lot better than before, which didn't make any sense. Basically, you would have to report your Bitcoin holdings at a loss if at any given time when you held it, it went below your original buying price. That sucks. That doesn't make any sense, right? So I think this is absolutely huge, especially, think about it, with the bull market coming up next year, 2024, when the FOMO starts to build, when all these other companies that we haven't even heard of yet, when they start FOMOing Bitcoin, well, they're going to be a lot more relaxed, let's say. They're not worried as much because of the accounting, right? So basically, that's what it comes down to. Michael Saylor caused this to happen. Honestly, you have to give him 100% of the credit because MicroStrategy led the way with their Bitcoin strategy. He has never deviated from it. He keeps on DCAing, and I think as a public trade company, he is the largest Bitcoin holder. It is the largest Bitcoin holder of any public trade company, right, by far. So awesome, good for Michael Saylor, right? And just so you're aware, you got Tesla, you got PayPal, Block, MicroStrategy, Riot, Mara. These are their, not how much they hold, but this is just their market cap, right? So obviously some big companies, and of course you got a lot of smaller companies too. And let's not forget, you have asset managers, right, that will be buying, or maybe they have bought, like the likes of BlackRock, Fidelity, Vanguard, Van Eyck, Invesco. These guys, right, they're buying Bitcoin behind the scenes right now for their potential spot Bitcoin ETFs, right? They're all on this list too. I mean, there's just so much FOMO that will be coming. So absolutely fantastic. And here's another one. Peter Thiel's Palantir will also start taking payments. There's some kind of like data analytics company, and they're betting, on cryptocurrencies as well. So I mean, it's going to be an onslaught of adoption, onslaught of money flowing into the space. That's the reality. It's going to happen. It has happened already. That's why crypto, as bearish as it sounds, have a market cap of over $1 trillion. Some of you guys remember this. I still do vividly, because I remember talking to people like you guys and with my insider group, like my Patreon group at the time, when Bitcoin was below $4,000, okay? And I remember this twice, because it happened twice. It happened in March of 2020, and it happened bottom of 2018. I remember it got so bleak that the global crypto market cap was at 110 billion, okay? And it was looking to go below 100 billion. And that's not too long ago. And back then, things were very, very, very extremely bearish. People thought Bitcoin was going to go below 1,000. ETH was below 100. People thought it was going to go back to like its $20 or $30 point. And others didn't even exist, basically, right? A lot of these cryptos that you guys know now, they didn't even exist. And the ones that did all tanked 99.9%. It was bad then. Now, it's 10 times higher. 10 times higher, right? Despite the fact we're nowhere close to our top of 2021. But, in another 4 years, 5 years, we'll look back. The global market cap could be 10 times higher at 10 trillion, and people will still be bearish because maybe we're coming off of our top, and now Bitcoin is at 50 or 60,000 as a bottom, right? But then everything else, who knows? XRP may be at like $50 then, and Ethereum may be at 30,000 then, right? And the global market cap will be 10 trillion, but still people will feel bearish. But just know that some of us that's been through previous cycles have seen much, much, much worse days, okay? Much scarier days, and right now, it's not that scary. Okay, so keep that in mind. But don't give up. Because right now, it does seem like there are a lot of short-term holders that are capitulating. Some that just can't take it anymore because maybe they haven't lived through some of these previous times. Or maybe they just stopped believing, or maybe they're just haters, right? Whatever it may be, okay? But those that capitulate now, that leave, that no longer believe, right? They are missing out on a potential generational buying opportunity. And I would argue, yes, that's where we are. Of course, 15,000, 16,000, we saw that earlier this year. That would have been a better time. But right now, with Bitcoin being at like 25,000, 26,000, still generational buying opportunity. You know why? Because after next year, after 2025, and then even after the next cycle, that will end in 2029, right? everything will be so much higher, and you will regret that you fell for the FUD, that you capitulated now, because everything will be so much higher in the future. And it's not that long. I'm not even talking about decades. I'm talking about less than 10 years. But of course, 2024 is right around the corner. And 2025 is less than 2 years away, right? So don't be scared out of generational wealth. That's what Bitcoin and crypto can bring, right? And there are so many. I show these all the time, nonstop. There's unlimited amount of on-chain metrics and data that show the same thing over and over again, which is basically you have a bearish fall. Then you have an accumulation stage, okay? And then afterwards, you go on a parabolic run. It does not change. It's the same every single cycle. But every single cycle, the high gets lower. No, I mean, the low gets higher. The lows get higher and the highs get higher, right? Every single time. And it's not going to change this time around too. So don't fall for the FUD. There's a lot of scariness, but there's also a lot of goodness, just like what Michael Saylor did. I don't think a lot of people care about this because they don't understand or they don't own a business. Most of you guys don't own a business. They have to deal with taxes and reporting of Bitcoin, right? But for those that do, this is a monumental upgrade that will definitely make things a whole lot better and cause a lot more FOMO in the coming years, right? So stay strong. Stay strong. Now, it's not just Bitcoin. Of course, it's not just Bitcoin. I talked about Ethereum. Maybe it's at 30,000 in 10 years or 5 years, right? It could be. That's why Cathie Woods does not want to lose out on that. Cathie Wood, ARK Invest already have a Bitcoin spot ETF. Guess what? They applied for the very first spot Ethereum ETF. Now, if you think about it, of course, this should be approved as well. Why not? Ethereum is a commodity. It's deemed so by the SEC, by the CFTC. So why is there any reason that a spot ETF does not exist, right? What reason can Gary give? Basically, if you're going to have a spot Bitcoin ETF, which is considered a commodity, right? You should have a spot Ethereum ETF too. So this could be absolutely huge as well. Cathie Wood is always thinking ahead. One of the ultra bulls that we have, right? So that was announced today as well. Fantastic. And of course, look at this. ETH balance on exchanges dropping faster than even Bitcoin. It's all the way back to a 5-year low, basically going all the way back to like 2014 levels, like right around its ICO time. Like ETH is dropping on exchanges at an alarming rate. It really is, even faster than Bitcoin. It's more deflationary than Bitcoin at this point, right? So don't be skipping out on Ethereum either. They are definitely going to be rising up in this bull run as well, along with Bitcoin and many others. But what about Ripple? Ripple and XRP is also all of a sudden seeing tremendous volume. I know a lot of you guys are XRP fans, and I alone have the only copy of the most educational video ever created about Ripple and XRP. And if you guys are good, I may show it again tonight. But, you know, I alone have the only copy. But you could see, you know, ever since the lawsuit, you know, was dismissed in terms of XRP not a security, obviously it did a whole lot, but there's still a lawsuit with Ripple. That has not been dismissed. But right now you could see highest on-chain transactions since February 1st. Highest XRP unique tokens being moved since May 31st. You got a tremendous amount of on-chain volume. Why? Maybe people are loading up right? Or maybe because you have financial companies that are looking to utilize XRP for what it was intended for, which is for international remittance service or money transferring. That's what SBI is going to be using in the future, right? So yeah, that may be why. That may be why. So yeah, XRP could also be at what, $5, $50 in the future. So, especially if I play more of my educational video. So my point is for tonight is, yeah, don't fall for a FUD. We got a lot of goodness. This could be considered a generational buying opportunity. And it's not just for Bitcoin. It's for Ethereum, for XRP, for Cardano, for BNB, for Avalanche, for Cosmos, Polygon, so many of your favorite projects. This is a great time to be loading up. Now, outside of all these great crypto projects, we have Alex Mashinsky. Yeah, he has all his assets frozen by the U.S. court. So he may be prosecuted. He was arrested a few months ago. So now they are charging him with criminal and civil charges, right? So now he has all his assets frozen. I always found that it's funny because after he removed himself as CEO and Celsius went bankrupt, he was still walking around and attending conferences and stuff like nothing's happening. I'm like, how can you be that delusional, right? I don't know. But people found out that he's selling his house or sold his house, a $2.5 million house in Austin, Texas. And if you guys are in Austin, you go check it out. Although on Zillow, it says it's off market. I don't know. But it looks like a small little nice place in the middle of Austin, Texas, if you guys want to check it out. You know, think about how cool it would be to buy this house, to be the owner right after Alex Mashinsky. I don't know if that's actually cool or not, but whatever. And SBF also, he has to be released on bail to prepare for his trial, and he got denied, so that's good. So he's still in jail. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Today is Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, so that means it's DCA day. All right, so I brought it up. Unfortunately, this week has not been good. So down about 5% for this week and down about 10% for the month. So obviously we went backwards a little bit. August and so far in September, no good, right? But that's the point of DCA. In fact, if you think about it, you want a DCA when things are low, right? You don't actually want a DCA on the way up. It's much better to DCA on the way down so you can bring that cost average down. So when we do recover, you'll be in the green much quicker, right? So it's DCA day, $100 every Wednesday night. And since I just got done talking about 3 different projects, that's what I'm going to be DCA into. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. Can't go wrong with these 3, right? So let's add a little more of each one of these. $33 divided by 25,745.00128. Okay, and I said this before. I'm doing this to show you guys, to prove that DCA works over long haul, okay? But I am not doing this to have people copy trade me, okay? Which some people do. Some people think that they have to copy trade this, and that is the wrong way to think about it, right? I am simply doing this to prove a point and also to showcase some of the projects that I do like in case you guys missed out on some of my shows, right? But the purpose of this is not to have people copy trade me. So I'm just wanting to make that clear once again. But today I am doing Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. And we'll see what next week brings. All right. That's it. Let's do some Q&A. All right, let me see here. Let me see if I missed anything. Scrolling down. Scrolling. That was the best time. Alan, I don't know which, I forgot. Did I say something? I don't know what you're referring to. Stephen Carr. I am so tired. Just got done with my adult exercises with my girl in time to catch this stream. I'm glad because watching this stream is you'll have much better time watching me than any adult exercise you will have with your girl. That's facts. Let's see here. ETH ETF. Yup. You know, you figure if there's a Bitcoin ETF, right, SPY ETF, there should be a SPY Ethereum ETF too. All right, let's see here. Am I an XRP bull now? No, but I do recognize that, yeah, XRP could do much better now since it's not a security. It's been held down for so many years. But I still don't like Ripple's how they operate their business, but it is what it is. XRP is trying to change, right? Trying to get adopted. Also trying to make themselves into trying to add utility too. So Mike says, my kids listen to you on the morning school drives. That's pretty impressive to convince your kids to listen. Was referring to when BTC was sideways. Okay, Alan. Yeah, that you remember that. That time, those times sucked. Really sucked. When Bitcoin was at like 3,800 or 3,100, and you got hyperwave, bear saying it's gonna go to 1,000, and everything was bad. It was just so bad and bearish. We're certainly nowhere close to those times. How was the experience filming Hourglass? Brianna, I had a Spaces this morning or this afternoon. I told you guys that. A lot of you guys tuned in, like 1,000 people. It was interesting. Very different than now. I don't have lines to remember now, right? I don't have to interact with people. I don't have multiple cuts, right? I'm doing this live, but when you're doing a show, it's very different. So many cameras moving around, so many people. Every time there's a cut and restart, everyone has to like get back to where they were. Everyone's sweating, and you sit there for like 8 hours and only to record like a 30-minute clip. I mean, it's very different. I'm anxious to see how the show turns out. So tomorrow I'll remind you guys again. It's going to come out at 6 p.m. No, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I know it conflicts with football, but whatever. You'll find it on a bespoke channel on Distro TV. So you could download distro.tv app on all the streaming devices, and you look for Bespoke TV, and it'll play within there, right? And you could also find Bespoke TV on the channels, like the cable providers. And then over time, they'll go spread it to other places. Hold old Dom. I hope I hit 1 million subs next bull run. I really do. Then I could say I'm part of the exclusive 1 million. I'll get my gold plaque. That's what I'm looking for. So I can say I have 1 million subs. Right now, growing subs is nearly impossible. Why isn't the ETH price going up after spot ETF news? Well, it's just the application. It's the very first one. Does not mean that it's approved, right? But if they're going to approve spot Bitcoin ETFs, why not Ethereum? But I think Ethereum is going to take a while. But Kathy Wood is making sure she's staying ahead of the game, which is good. Why are we hearing how they're going to increase the BTC limit beyond 21 million? Is that a lie? Yes. No one is hearing that. No one is saying that. I don't know who is spreading that FUD to you, but that'll never, ever, ever, ever happen. I hope you don't retire when you become a billionaire. Well, first of all, I don't have any ambitions to become a billionaire. Second of all, I don't think I'll ever be a billionaire. I don't have enough assets to get there. Maybe in like 50 years, if Bitcoin is above $1 million each, then maybe. But if I do become a billionaire or a centimillionaire, I am going to retire for sure. I'm not going to be on YouTube anymore. Maybe I'll stream once in a while, but definitely not doing what I'm doing now. Just being real, okay? I don't think any of you guys would. But let's see how 2025 turns out. Was I born in the U.S.? No. That's why, I always screw up my grammar, unfortunately. No, I moved here when I was 6. Top coin other than the 3 that you DCA'd tonight. I still put BNB up there. A lot of people FUD BNB. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. They are absolutely huge. Binance is not going to go anywhere. There's no BNB troubles. There's people like to spread FUD about how BNB is being sold off or whatever. It's going to crash the market. That's nonsense. Okay, BNB is still sitting at number 4, 33 billion, even above XRP. Right, so I think too many people overlook BNB as well. Do you feel fulfilled in your career prior to crypto? No, I did not. I was a IT architect, hardware, networking, storage, cloud. Did not feel fulfilled. I was working for a company that was very, very, very understaffed, and I was working very long, hard hours. Our infrastructure was crashing all the time. Never got the appreciation that I deserved. I think most of you guys could relate to that. Okay, that's why, sometimes like right now, even when I'm feeling very tired, I don't feel like I should stream. I'm just not in the mood. I keep reminding myself, okay, whatever I'm doing now is so much better than what I was doing before, right? So stop complaining. Just do it, right? That's how I feel. So with anything in life, sometimes you just got to have that persistence, patience, right? Perseverance. You just got to push yourself through it sometimes. You can't be lazy. You can't be successful at anything by being lazy. It just won't happen. Louis, I can't pronounce your name. Love from Pakistan. I can't pronounce it, but I appreciate you. Rich G, always appreciate you being here as well. Red Loop, come on now. Keep that to yourself. Maybe one of these days I'll do a autobiography about myself. I don't know if anyone would really care, but I think it'll be an interesting story. I went through some tough shit, especially as I got older. When I was younger, I can't really complain, but yeah, when I got older, man, I went through a lot of stuff, did a lot of stuff, throughout my life. So I think biography or autobiography would be pretty interesting. Yeah, I don't know if I could write a book, though. I had to get someone to write it for me. I hate writing. Chris Videography, really love your last video talking about family. I appreciate that. It is important. You know, most of us are slaving away to make more money. Quite honestly, the world revolves around money. Everyone is working all the time to make more money, to support their family, their their living living style, I guess. But while we're all trying to make more money, we forget what's most important. And that's the people we love in our life, right? Your family. Not all of you guys have kids, but a lot of you guys do, right? You realize, yeah, your kids are they're just so much older now. They're so much bigger. You miss so much, right? And those of you guys that don't have kids, the same thing with your parents who may be older and they're not going to be around much longer, or your siblings, right, that you haven't talked to for years, right? Or your nephew or nieces or whatever, right? Life is really about experiences, and I would say those experiences mean nothing if you didn't have loved ones around you, right? Because it's about sharing those experiences. You could have all the experiences in the world. If you have no one to share it with or talk about with, right, it's meaningless. So it really comes down to just having really good support structure, right, with your family, friends, loved ones. So that's what it comes down to. So you got to find time to spend time with them. Now, if you make your life change your wealth or achieve financial freedom, that frees up time, right? No one can buy more time. You only have a set amount of time. Everyone's operating the same clock. But if you don't have to slave away 9 to 5, then you get more time. You get more freedom, right? More options to be able to do the things that you love with the people that you love, right? That's why it's so important. Yeah, Jonathan is exactly right. A house is not a home when you're alone. It goes back to the experiences thing I was talking about. It's the same thing, yeah, same thing. A house, a car, right? Like anything that you have. If you don't have someone to share it with, it really is meaningless. If you think about it. What's the point of living in a $3, $5, $10 million mansion when you're alone in there, right? Like, what's the point? What's the point of having 10 supercars in your driveway when you're alone? And again, no one to share with, right? So it's like, it's meaningless. With my cat, well, at least you have a cat, right? Or a dog. But still, not the same. Not the same. Shared a mansion with a bunch of women. That sounds great at the beginning. Okay, and then you realize, are they really there for you or for your money? Right? So that's the thing that you have to worry about afterwards. What do you think about ARK? Their ETF? I don't know. I haven't really kept up with ARK. Which one are you talking about? Or is there an ARK coin? What's ARK Invest, their ETF? RK or something? Yeah, there we go. Their innovation ETF. 1 year, they're about the same as 1 year ago. So 5 years definitely down, right? Because it's mostly tech. So obviously everything has fallen, so that makes sense. But will they come back up? Yup, they sure will. Mates, I appreciate that. And there are times if you want to show off, right? You want to go to a dinner party, you want to flex at some fancy place. That's fine, but you know, for all the other times, just be yourself, be comfortable, and that's it. Flux is pumping. Is Flux really pumping? Whoa. Whoa. 35%. What happened? What did I miss with Flux? Dabitola. Scott. Scott is usually in here. He's representing Flux. This happens to be a stream where he's not in it. He's in like every single stream except this stream. Well, that's another reason to show up to Cypherpunk, which I am co-hosting with Flux. If this website loads up. There we go. So this is the end of this month in Fort Lauderdale. Hope to see you guys there. It's a smaller conference, but Flux will be presenting. I'll be inviting some companies or projects to speak as well. We may have a Hourglass, the next crypto gem panel there. I'm trying to make that happen. And there'll be a lot more stuff happening, right? And if you use the link in my description, you'll get a much bigger discount than what's shown on the screen here. Huge. Massive. So check it out. Love to see more of you guys there. But yeah, I got to know why they're pumped up today. I know a bunch of 40-somethings that bragged about not having kids in their 30s. They're sad now. I mean, I hate to say that everyone should have kids, right? Because not everyone's like that. Some people just don't want it. They have their significant other. They're happy, right? And that's fine. But having family fulfills you in a way like no other. And even though living in the moment, 90% of the time, your family irritates you. You're like, why did I have kids? You know, they're so annoying. I could have so much more money and freedom without them, right? But then once they're gone, you realize, man, I made the right choice. I should have spent more time with them, or I should have more kids. That's just how it is. That's how the irony of life. All right, I'll let you guys go. I went super long tonight. Super long. That's because we're having good discussion. Good life discussion. Basically, bottom line is this. Michael Saylor changed accounting rules for Bitcoin, and it's a big change. And this could be implemented right away. You don't even have to wait until 2025 when this really kicks in, right? So, stay strong, my friends. You know, I know it's scary, but better days are definitely coming, right? So, I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Have a good one. Take care. Oh, by the way, I promised you guys this, so check it out.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.